So something to pay attention to when working direct on tissue or even indirect is sometimes it feels like what you're going to be asked to do is make sure the patient doesn't say ouch. So when I talk about the barrier concept, the whole idea is don't make the patient say ouch. One of the ways that you know that is either the tissues will tighten up, not necessarily passively, but something will happen. The tissue will start to come online. The patient will make a face, the patient will make a noise. So just to look at this, to see some of the stuff that you have to do, right? So if I stabilize him, that's about where he comes to before there's resistance. You agree with this? Okay. Now, what I'm going to want to do is try to get more out of this without the tissue jumping. I'm going to bring him in here, so I've got really good contact. You can see lots of contact. I'm going to pay attention to as much of the shoulder girdle as I can. Now, if I go this way, it'll be hard to see, but it's going to start to pop into my finger. So if we're looking about at this finger, that starts to pop, right? I don't want that. I want none of that. I want to be able to work through there. Now, when I go here, you can't see it, but about on my thumb, the tissue starts to get tighter. So I'm going to have to start to find this really weird spot. And I'm going to go in the direction of restriction, but I've got to find the spot where nothing really happens. There's some tension on the back of the arm, which you're not going to be able to see. Now I need to walk up, because how I'm holding and where I have to be, I can't get my body to move right, so I become the limiter. Now, this is tough. If you watch his torso, watch what happens. I didn't move my body necessarily. I took a deep breath. So sometimes I'm going to bump him into a better spot with my breath. Now, the problem is if I have to hold my breath too long, I pass out. I don't want to pass out. That seems like a bad idea. Right? So now, would you agree that I'm getting more range out of you with less pop? Yes. Or with less tissue pop, right? Your voice won't get picked up on the mic, but that's fine. My voice matters more than yours. Somebody laughed. Only one. Right? Now, you'll see that I've come out of that internal rotation. There's just different things happening. So this is a really passive treatment. There's no extra activating forces. I'm just avoiding any sign of his tissues protecting themselves. And it's a bit of a maze. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it's still direct. So now I'm much more in plane. But I've had to change a lot of things. Sorry for the jump. Yeah, well, sorry. It was you, but it was how we were interacting, my friend. There we go. So now, just really superficially, right? So I'll walk down a little bit more so it's closer. So this is about where the resistance is, right? So he's going farther with less resistance. If I wanted to do that a little bit more, I've got to pay a little bit more attention to the rotator cuff-ish stuff. So you won't see it on my hand, but my thumb's back here, so I'm going to pay more attention to the rotator cuff, and I'm going to get that to go this way without it popping. So now I have to be in this different position. Now I am compressing it, so if it pops into the compression, then I have a problem. I'm compressing the tissue, so I'm mildly perpendicular to fiber direction. The push is this way, so I'm mildly perpendicular to fiber direction. And whoop, yeah, see, what the hell? Does that happen a lot? The little jumpy thing? Does that? No? Okay. So when people talk about following, you need to know the sensation you're looking for to follow, and then you do it. And the sensation I'm looking to follow is not the tissue not contracting in an active way, him not jumping. So there's been a few jumps. That seems to be just the way that he responds to some stuff. That's okay. I don't know that right now. I'd have to know him for longer and better. Right? So that wasn't where I'm palpating. There was another jump there. I actually felt it on my abdomen because my abdomen has decent contact with the back of his torso. You'd agree that was around the scapula somewhere? In the medial border-ish? How like high angle? Yeah, okay. And it's because I felt it with my tummy. And that's what more contact will allow you to do. Right? Now it's like, how do you know when you're done? Well, sometimes you just give up and retest. So I work down a little bit. So resistance about there, right? Now if I bring you over here, right? Everybody agrees this is better. And it looked like I did almost nothing, right? There you go. Cool.